gonna miss me when I'm gone. Love me somebody else, girl. You don't love me somebody else. This time around I ain't crying for me. This time I will be alright. Don't love me somebody else, girl.
Are y'all ready to get this show started? 3, 2, 1.
Let's get it. Here we go.
You're now tuned into the City Flow on Hidden City Radio.
We know it's some good. Make them say.
With your girl, TopNotch Butterscotch.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, TopNotch Butterscotch. You're now tuned in to City Flow here at Hidden City Radio. You already know how it goes here at Hidden City Radio. So moving right along, moving forward, our girl El Marie is out today. Her daughter got an opportunity to be in a video shoot. That's her dream. So we want to make sure we support our team members, co-hosts, our kids of tomorrow, today, the future, you know. We want to make sure we give our shout outs when shout outs are due. So congratulations on that big cake, baby girl. I didn't even do that one. Shout out to you on your success. Moving right along, moving forward. If you'd like to be on the show, if you're an artist, please submit your inquiry to hiddencityradio@gmail.com along with the MP3 format, proper metadata. We are a registered station with ASCAP BMI SCE. We want to make sure you get paid those royalties. And if you're a business owner and I haven't reached out to you, please submit an inquiry to hiddencityradio@gmail.com as well. Submit a small bio about yourself, along with your Instagram, web address, or Facebook page where I can check you out. Make sure you're on up and up to be on the show. Speaking of the show, I got a great show lined up for y'all as always. Yes, indeed I do. So we're going to be talking about the daily struggles, of course, a little bit of entertainment news. Our guest for the evening, oh man, I can't wait to get her on the horn. We're going to be talking about credit, y'all. Or as the old folks say, credit. My credit ain't good. So moving along, moving forward, since El Marie's not here, we're going to not talk about, we don't have a topic. So we're going to take some calls. If we have any calls for our guests, that's 470-588-1198. We're going to interact with our chat, who's viewing. So you know how we do. So moving right along, moving forward, y'all. I'm really excited to talk with our guests because I heard she out here breaking generational curses. And, you know, like, that's what we really need as a Black community. And I'm not trying to single nobody out, but you know what they say, if you knew better, you do better. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, she's gonna, you know, give her expertise, and she's gonna give a little bit of mentorship, because speaking of mentorship, let me just give her a proper introduction, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We just gonna go ahead and just jump into that. So yeah, we get ready to interview Miss January Prather, y'all. She's an entrepreneur, Navy veteran, business owner, mentor. She lets you know she a happy co-parent, dog. That's healthy. We need that as well in the Black community, y'all. She's an adventurer, and I mean, when I say she go hard, y'all. And she showed people how to improve their credit and finances to break generational curses. And like I said, we really need that. So we're going to get Miss Prather on the screen, y'all.
Am I too close? I might be a little too close.
Welcome, sis. Can you hear me?
Yes. Am I too close to the screen? I think I'm all right.
You are just fine. Welcome to the show. It is a pleasure having you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. You know we go way back. Shitmate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I sold you a pair of Air Force Ones when I was hustling them sneakers on the boat. But moving right along, moving forward, I myself already know a little bit about you. If you don't mind, please introduce yourself to our viewers and listeners.
My name is January Prather. As she said, I am a Navy veteran. I served 12 years in the military. And after I got out of the military, I ended up getting a federal job. So I currently work for the federal government as well as my credit repair company. The reason why I started credit repair, just to give you guys some background on me, after I got out of the military, I thought that I had prepared properly because I had like a year's worth of my salary and my savings, and that it's just like everything happens bad that can happen.
Of
um, car,
course.
car issues, all things like that. The car took up a lot of my money, and I started to realize, oh, I didn't plan properly because I had another business at that time that didn't do so well. So I ended up having to file bankruptcy back in 2013. And after that, it was just, of course, my credit is just done.
Hmm.
And so I ended up hiring a credit repair company. I didn't feel like they were really doing much. After like 5 months, I didn't really see really any difference. And I got frustrated and I decided to learn how to fix credit myself. And in the 6 months, I was able to repair my credit. And after that, I started just for free helping people, putting a lot of credit education in different Facebook groups for military, because I know military, like, you already know you can get credit like it's nothing. You can get anything
Nothing.
and just mess it up. So
That part.
I just started helping the military groups, and people started, 300 plus messages at any given time. And it became overwhelming. And then people started asking me if I would fix their credit. And at first I said no a couple times. And then after a while, I was like, well, maybe I should. And that's how my company came about.
Nice. Okay, okay. So you ready to jump right into this interview?
Yeah.
Let's get it started. Love your introduction. Love your introduction. Love your energy. So, all right. So, you started your credit repair company, because like you say, veterans and military, we got this thing, they hear their words and they just go excited about giving us just anything we want to give. And then we, as sailors, can sometimes be irresponsible because the money ain't adding up, but we got all this stuff. So it's just like a debt to income ratio is just like outrageous.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, when it got overwhelming to you and since you started your business, has there ever been a time where you wanted to quit? And if there was, like, how did you deal with that situation and overcome it?
Well, actually, yeah. I would say sometime this year I started to feel like not necessarily overwhelmed with business, because again I still have my full time job and work in a business, but just not feeling fulfilled because my goal and my heart is always to help people. And so I will have clients who credit I fix come back. I fixed your credit last year. Here you come back again, mess your credit up.
Mm,
This sob story. So I started to feel like, am I really creating a transformation? Am I really helping people the way I want to? I mean, because my company does provide credit education, so you're learning while I'm fixing your credit. Um, but it just didn't seem to do anything. So I started to question, am I doing the right thing? And then that actually prompted me to decide, you know what, I think I want to teach people too. So there are people who are still not going to want to do it themselves. So I don't want to give that up. But then also to be able to teach. So right now I'm working on a course to teach people how to fix their credit. And the great thing about the course that my clients don't get currently who credit I repair is that I'm actually going to be teaching financial steps too. So all the things that I did to get out of the bankruptcy, as far as like paying off things, budgeting, things like that, people are going to learn those things and have the tools and resources that they need so that they can break those generational curses, not just with credit, but just finances in general.
nice, nice, nice. Because my thing is, like, I'm not going to sit up here in front and act like I had all the financial responsibilities together, because I didn't. It wasn't until like my early 30s where I really started. No, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm just be transparent. It wasn't until I had a situation where I was down bad and I was broke and I couldn't call on nobody. And it was just like, am I really going through this? And I shouldn't be going through this because I should have savings, but I didn't have savings. And I feel like that was my own fault.
Mm.
So it started with me, and I taught my brother how to save. My I call my credit like walk on water, walk on Christ water credit now. You know what I'm saying? I don't even touch it. I don't even have credit cards. And I also want to ask you questions about that as well. So with that being said, I mean, I know you said you went through all the motions and you decided to learn how to fix your credit yourself, because I too also signed up for someone to fix my credit. I can't remember their name. It was like a lawyer, supposedly company online, and
Oh, I know
charging
what you're talking about.
$99 a month to
I know what
repair it. And I didn't see anything. So
you're.
with that being said, how hard was it to research and learn how to repair credit? Because for me, I just went to a car lot one time and I saw how they was doing it. They told me to call the credit agency and was just like, dispute this, dispute this. So I'm just like, well, if I can call on the phone, I can go online and do this. So I started doing it and I was just like, oh, all right. So like, how long did it take you to research and like, I know you don't want to get into depth with it because you got a course coming up, but like, how long did it actually take you to research how to repair credit?
Well, first I want to tell you, do not dispute your credit online.
Oh, all
Because
right.
if you read the terms and conditions, which most people don't, you're giving up your rights as a consumer. So in some cases, they may say you can't dispute something twice with
That
them.
is true.
So once they come back and say verify, you can't go back. Also, they don't have to provide you with any documentation, any proof. You're giving up those rights, so you want to make sure you always do it in writing. So I just wanted to say that real quick.
Okay, cool.
Um,
So does it matter if I'm doing it directly with the credit bureau itself, Equifax, TransUnion, or
you should
Experian?
you should definitely write your letters directly to each credit bureau.
Okay, even though I like typed it in the box and was all like thorough and all of that, that don't count. I should like legit handwrite it.
Yeah. No, you don't have to handwrite it. You can type it. I mean,
Okay.
who really writes letters like that
No,
anymore?
I'm just saying like type it in the box online, or did you want me to like
Oh
send a
no,
physical
no, girl,
letter
no, that's a setup. You still giving away your rights. Just go ahead and get open Word and type the letter up.
and legit mail it out to them?
Yeah, print and send it certified. Mail it out certified to them.
That was my next question.
You
Okay.
want to keep records. That's for you to keep your records of, when you sent out your disputes in case you have to take it further, like legal action.
But isn't there a statute of limitation as far as credit is concerned? Like some people try to come from 2002 and be like, yo, you owe us $700. And I'm just like, are you serious? It's 2021, past statute of limitation. Get this off my credit. And I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't had like any, rejections or hiccups or anybody come back to me and be like, oh yeah, you owe us this. I'm just like, yeah, no, we're not doing this. We're not doing this.
No, with the statute of limitations, that just covers what time frame they can actually take legal action against you. But it can still be in your credit report. As long as you owe the debt, it can be reported on your credit report.
Oh, all right. Oh, all right, sis. Well, thank God for the blessing. I ain't had no problem yet.
Yeah. So that doesn't matter. As long as you owe the debt, they can
come at you
and keep coming after you put on your credit report and all that, but they just can't take legal action. I always tell people, if you have a debt, collections and charge-offs, even if you pay them, they're not going to boost up your score. They're going to hurt you just as much as they already were, even if they're paid. So I always say, you have that, you're obligated to pay that debt, but you can still get a collection or a charge-off off your credit report without paying for it, without having to pay. So, and if you do pay, you want to make sure that you negotiate with them
a deletion or something like that, right?
Yeah, get it removed, because they try to be tricky with you. They are very clever.
They really do. So as far as like the charge off, like I look at it like, okay, y'all trying to collect twice, because if the company charged it off, which means they wrote it off on their credit. Mm-hmm. I mean, not their credit. They wrote it off on their taxes. As a loss. Mm-hmm. Why are you? I mean, I get it. That's what's keeping the collection agency in business, trying to come back and recoup the money that the company lost. But at the same time, isn't that like double dipping?
Well, no, not really, because the creditor, whoever you originally had the contract with, they're not supposed to be reporting on your credit report anymore if they sold your debt to a collection agency. So it's just collection agency. It's pretty much trying to collect the money from them, from you, for them. That's all that is. So they're not, now if they both were coming after you, then yeah, they can't do that.
Got
you. The collection agency, they're just doing their job to get the money because the creditor couldn't get it.
Got you. Okay. So with that being said, like, how long would you say that it took you to do the research to get your company and up off the ground, and to make sure you knew and felt comfortable about what you were talking about and what you were doing?
Well, first, I do remember I never answered your question about the research I did to even learn about credit. I bought books. I was researching online and credit groups and things like that. And I was doing little things here and there, but I didn't really see that big boost. And then I was like, well, it got to be something that I'm missing. And I end up coming across this guy who ends up being my mentor and helping me to launch my company. And he had a training. I paid about $500 for probably about maybe about $700 for the training. And all the stuff that I was learning about credit, it just blew my mind because it was like the stuff that people aren't really telling people. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so, I mean, you get what you pay for, what you don't pay for. So I always tell people, don't be afraid to invest in yourself. Don't think of it as you're trying to put money in somebody else's pocket. It's not about that. It's about what you're going to get out of it, and what you get out of it
Yes.
is up to you. So I invested in that, and then I was like, oh wow, this is amazing. So I ended up going back to that individual who has, I believe he has more than one credit repair company successfully. And so I went to him and I said, hey, can you help me launch my business? So he helped me. I mean, he literally, we got on the phone every week, well, Zoom every week for maybe like an hour and a half or so. And he literally took me step by step through everything. In the first month in business, I got 50 clients. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
I was like,
So that
yeah.
$700 investment was a great return.
Yeah, it was actually more than that because I had to pay for him to mentor me to start my business up. So I
Oh,
think I
wow.
paid
Okay.
maybe like 2,500 or something like that. 15. It was something between 15 and 25. I paid him for I think it was 8 weeks for him to
Okay.
like step by step. And yeah, it was definitely, I didn't doubt it, just coming from business previously, because I had a business while I was even in the military. I know you got to invest in order for you to see a return.
Yes.
Sometimes free information can help, but I like a little bit of a fast track to stuff. And when you pay for things, I've found it anyway in my experience, anything I've paid for, I've gotten a quicker result than if I just was doing a bunch of free Googling and going on YouTube and things like that. So yeah, and it continued on in the second month. And then, he shouted me out on his Facebook, which really meant a lot to me because he's a mentor. He's a multimillionaire. He mentors numerous people in different businesses. So it meant a lot to me that he did that. And so yeah, that's how my business started. I started my business under $500. And I'm
Nice.
currently, I've been asked a few times. Again, I always say no to stuff at first, and then I'm like, well, let me just go ahead and do it. I've been asked, hey, can you show me how to start my credit repair company? Do you do mentorship and this and that? And I just kept saying no, no, no. And I am currently mentoring somebody to start up their credit repair company.
Nice. Nice. Okay. So let's talk about your journey. So you said, you went through bankruptcy, and that's like a heavy load. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
with that being said, now that you know all that you know about credit and financial literacy, like, do you think it was necessary that you filed, like that you should have filed for bankruptcy, or do you think you could have like got yourself out of it if you have known like what you know now?
Well, I'll say this: I filed bankruptcy, not necessarily because I was just broke,
Right,
but
right, 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 right.
because that's a misconception. It's a lot of business people, a lot of multimillionaires who have filed bankruptcy several times. It's a
Yes.
strategy. So the reason I filed is because the home that I was living in at the time, I believe I owed like maybe 150, 180 on it, but it was only worth $80,000. So if
Mm,
I sold it, I would have only been able to sell it for what it was worth, and I would have still been stuck with the remainder of the debt. And so I did consult. I always like to get more than one opinion. I consulted with two lawyers, and they both pretty much said, without saying, you would be a fool to try to keep this home.
yeah.
And like, do you really want this home? That no, I don't want this home that's not worth, because that was around the time the market had crashed and stuff. So that's the reason why I filed, so that I could get out of that debt. But what happened to me was, so the law firm I went through for my bankruptcy, awesome people. We just had some miscommunications. So they didn't tell me, hey, keep paying your car note, because they were like, oh, we're going to include everything, and you get to keep, at the end of this, you get to keep whatever it is you want, which I wanted to keep my car at the time.
Hmm.
And yeah, so they didn't tell me I had to keep paying, and I didn't make any payments because they told me, oh, you don't have to right now. So afterwards, Navy Federal was like, we want X amount of dollars. And I was like, oh, I gotta move, you know. So and that was around the time the car, I had just gotten the car fixed. It started giving me problems again. And so it ended up being kind of a blessing in disguise. And I remember when the repo man came and got my car, and I greeted him as soon as I heard him pull up, I greeted him. I said, "Hey, it's hot today. You want some water?" And I was just out there, standing out there talking to him while he, putting the car up. And he's like, "Man, you the happiest person car I ever took." And for me, I always just try my best to be positive, and that when something's happening, instead
Yes.
of saying why me, I always say, "What am I supposed to learn from this?" That's what I always do. So I had already went through the motions of obviously feeling very upset about losing the car, but then I went to the point, well, you know what? It's not like this is your like dream car, and it's just a car. And
Right.
so by the time he came, I had already made peace with it. And the car I got today is like my dream car, the car that I've always
Exactly.
wanted. So I'm like, I lost that. And my house is like way better than my first house that I lost. I was able to get this house built. So I'm like, it's always something better. You just got to be willing to go through and learn. And I realized there were lessons I needed to learn about finances that I didn't know at the time, and about credit. And as I learned those things, I just felt like more good things came my way, in relating to those things.
So, what are a lot of misconceptions that people have about bankruptcy? Because that was going to be my next question. Like, yeah, you filed for bankruptcy, but like you said, you wasn't broke. You know what I'm saying? It just was the numbers wasn't looking right because you probably didn't want to pay for a house that you didn't own anymore. It's like, I don't own the house no more. I sold it. So why am I still paying for it? So with that being said, like when you came back, your comeback game was strong. Like you said, you had a house built from the ground up. You got your dream car. Like it's just like a whole new you. So it's just like, what are the biggest misconceptions people have about bankruptcy? Like, how long does it take to recoup? Like, give us all of that information.
I think one of the biggest misconceptions about bankruptcy is people think that it can't come off of their credit report. That's
Mm,
one of the biggest ones. People say, whether something is yours or not, paid or not, it can be removed from your credit report. It's just about knowing your rights, because 80% of credit reports have errors. So if you know that, and the laws, always people don't like to go read, but if you know the
exactly.
laws, you can definitely get things off of your credit report. I had a gentleman who I disputed his bankruptcy first letter off. It's gone.
Wow.
So it can happen now for my own self. It didn't take that. It wasn't that quick.
Right, right, right.
But there's different ways, because by law, another thing that people don't know, that there is no law that says that any company has to report anything on your credit report. No law
Say
that
that
says,
again.
there is no law that states that any company has to report to the credit bureaus. That's their choice. They choose to do that. So if a company, you call them and you're trying to negotiate, and they say, "Oh, we can't remove this," that's a choice. It's not a law holding them to that. That's what they're choosing to do as a company, because you have to remember, people make money off of you when you have bad credit, because guess what? You're getting higher interest rates. It's just a whole system
Yes,
with.
the whole domino effect. It's like it's a
Yeah.
numbers game. That's pretty much
Mhm.
what it is.
So that's one of the misconceptions, is that it can't come off. Another one, like I said, that is that it has to be reported. Courts are the ones who handle bankruptcies. They're not reporting to credit bureaus. Credit bureaus are getting that information from a third party. A third party that knows, oh, I mean, this is LexisNexis. If anybody ever gets a chance, order your
Yes, I know
LexisNexis
about Nexus
report.
Lexus.
Yes, they got everything. They know your
They
insurance
know you from
information.
the Rudy to the Tootie to the front to the back.
Yes, they have all. Like, I'm just like, wow, they know your driving his. They know everything.
They know what kind of car you purchased from what 1989, and you be like, "How
So,
they know
yeah.
that?"
It's more on that report that could ever be on a credit report. That report is long. And I
Yes.
was like, when I first found out, I was like, wow, like how do they know all this stuff? So they're considered a third party. But the bank, I mean, not the bank, but the court is who handles the bankruptcy. So if the court is not reporting, because remember, there is no law that they have to report. The credit bureaus are making money by getting information from these third parties, putting this stuff on your credit report, putting you at a higher risk. And guess who's benefiting? The lenders, because you get these higher interest rates and things like that. So people getting
They're
paid.
all in it together.
Oh
Oh, wow.
yeah.
It's like a pyramid scheme. I can't say it's legal, but they're in it together.
They
Okay,
get away
wow.
with it. The government let them get away with it.
Yes. Yes. Wow. Okay. So, since doing this awesome comeback, and you know what you know about credit repair. And let's talk about your website as well. Like, how much is your services, and what are the people getting for your services?
So on my website, I offer two services. I actually kind of cut the prices because of COVID. I know that people were in the bind. But on my website, if you scroll down to the pricing area, um, it
There
shows,
we go.
yeah. So it shows the 149, which is covers an audit fee, enrollment fee. That's just for me to audit someone's credit. You can't work on someone's credit if you haven't really actually analyzed where they are when it comes to their credit. So that just pretty much go through each credit report, analyze everything, go line by line, and then present them with the audit, which the audit, I put a little bit of credit education, like basic credit education in there, but the
Okay.
audit also tells them, so they don't have to guess, because a lot of people don't know. They know what accounts are within the statute of limitations where they can be sued. They know that just from the audit. I tell them that. They know, where they stand credit wise, and give them advice about, hey, you need to pay your cards down. You need to, make sure you're paying your bills on time. If you can't pay your bills on time, I don't recommend a person become a client at all, because that's not gonna help. I'm gonna get a late payment, delete it, and another one come back. And late payments can hurt you point wise just as much as a bankruptcy, and people don't know that.
Yes, it
So
can.
it's very important for you, because your 35% of your credit score is made up of your payment history. So if you're not paying things on time, then you're really hurting yourself. But it just outlines everything for them, let them know what accounts are hurting their credit score the most. Sometimes people think, oh, I got this bankruptcy and it's hurt me the most. No, it's not the bankruptcy. That bankruptcy was what, 3 years ago, or let's say 4 years ago. You got this collection that just got reported last year. That's hurting your credit the most. So it's normally accounts that are within 2 years of it hitting your credit report. That's hurting you the most. So a lot of people don't know that either. I tell them, and I break all their negative accounts down into sections. So it be bankruptcies, could be collections, late payments, things like that, just to make it simple for them to really see the picture of what's going to be disputed. I don't touch any positive accounts, would not be in the audit, would not be touched. We just identify what's negative. So that's what the auto enrollment fee is. And then the first month is free. Your letters go out within 48 hours, 48 business hours, and then after that, it's $99 a month for the credit repair service. There is a contract, but it's not a contract that's holding anybody to any particular terms of service. It's just a contract stating that you're agreeing that I can dispute on your behalf, and also that you will do the things that I'm asking of you to, because this is a partnership.
It really is.
And from that point, that person can cancel anytime. There is no fees or anything like that. You just let me know before the next payment comes. And believe it or not, everybody doesn't want to get to 700. I have clients who get to 680 and say, hey, thank you so much for helping me. I'm ready to buy my house. I want to cancel my services. Okay. I mean, I always try to find out what people's goals are up front, because I want to help you with your goal. It's not about me. I think everybody should try to reach for a 700 or above, but if
Above,
that's their
yes.
goal, then, because what they're not understanding is, once you purchase that home, your
That
credit
debt
is
to
taking a
income
hit.
ratio.
That and your credit is taking a hit, because that's a new loan. Um,
Exactly.
so you're not gonna have that
You don't
680.
have that room. They got to think of it as 100% pie.
Exactly,
Everything is
exactly.
100% pie.
Exactly. But when it comes to home buying, people just get so anxious.
Excited about
Oh,
being able to purchase a home.
yes,
So,
yes.
with that being said, okay, so how long will you typically have a client on your monthly services? What's the longest client that you ever had?
Probably about a year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because honestly, people should, when it comes to repairing your credit, you should give yourself a year. If it's one thing, I can understand, but if you have more than one thing, definitely give yourself a year. It didn't take you 3 months to get in that situation you were in, so it's not going to take 3 months, maybe not even 6 months to get out of it. So I always say, give yourself a year. That's being realistic. It definitely can happen before then, but
Right.
just to set that expectation, maybe you just, I don't know. People just think that they can get out of a bad credit in just like 3 months time. And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah. But there are people out there that sell that that they can do that. You know what I'm saying?
And that's actually against the law. So
Oh
if
wow.
there is a law, the credit repair industry, it's considered a high risk business because it can be a
Mm,
lot of chargebacks from that business. But by law, a person, any credit repair company, no matter what state, they cannot promise you any particular guaranteed results as far as a time frame and things like that. They're not allowed to do that. So I do see it all the time where people are guaranteeing results and things like that. And then I've had clients who come to me and they're telling me their story about how they went with this company or they went with this person and some of the horror stories associated with that. And I always tell them, if somebody's saying, hey, I can wipe your credit clean in 3 months, and be leery of that, because I know we all want that. We have that microwave mentality, we want stuff right now. But everything everything that sound good ain't good. And if you know it took you more than 3 months to get in that situation, then you should probably think maybe it'll take you a little bit of time to get out of it, but that you're willing to go through it and do it the right way. Because I've seen people have it done the wrong way and come to me and say, all this stuff came back on my report. Yeah, but they got that $800 out of you.
indeed.
So I always tell
Wow.
people to do it the right way. I coach people, as well as when I do credit repair for individuals, I do it legally and factually. I'm not going to ever tell you any gimmicks and tricks or any of that, because I just feel like that stuff doesn't work. If you know what you're talking about, you don't have to do all of that. And it's
That
not about money for me. It's about helping. I mean, I have a job, I have a federal job. I make really great money. I don't even count my business money. My job money takes care of
that
everything.
part.
Exactly. So I'm not coming from a place of I need you to be my client. I'm really coming from a place of wanting to help people. And I've done quite a few people's credit for free as well, just in conversation and talking to them and just hearing about. I love just listening to people and hearing about what's going on with them. And if I feel like my heart is pulling at me, where I know this person just got out of a divorce and they're just taking the last little bit they had to try to get their credit fixed, I mean, I'll say, hey, look, I'll do it for you for free, and we'll work on your credit. Now I kind of make them. Some people I just coach them to do it, and then some people I do it for them, depending on what
Right.
they have going on. And the blessings always come in. So I always tell people,
Exactly.
don't chase the money, chase the way that you can bless and help other people, and by default,
Indeed.
you'll get everything you want.
Indeed. I love it. I love it. Okay. So you had that's the silver package. So let's
Yeah,
talk about the gold package. Or what did you already talk about that one?
I didn't, but I need to update my website because I actually need to take the gold package off. I'm thinking about doing something else. Like I said, I am working on a course. So I'm thinking about actually getting rid of it. That's mostly for people who had not that much on their credit. Like I had one gentleman who had like 30 something inquiries, and he was like, he wanted the inquiries gone. I don't normally dispute inquiries, but I was like, okay. And so I got them off for him. But that's just him getting a free credit repair for maybe 2 or 3 months by paying that 240. Now, some people want the upfront, but I always tell people, if you have like 20 plus accounts or even 10 plus accounts, you should not sign up for the gold package, because that's not going to be gone in 2 months.
At all.
It's possible, but it's
It's
it's not
leery.
necessarily.
It's kind of
Yeah, because
jangly.
yeah, it can happen. I mean, again, the guy that I told you there, well, the guy with the bankruptcy is a different person, but there's another guy who I know from the military, came to me, asked me to help him with his credit. He had about 20 something, 20 plus accounts. And I sent all the letters out, to the bureaus, and Equifax, I believe it was, they deleted all the accounts. All of them got deleted. The
Wow.
first letter. So it's definitely possible, but that it's not a guarantee. So I always tell people, just try to be realistic.
Realistic of their own personal goals of how to repair their credit.
And your situation. I mean, everybody know, if you got jacked up credit, you can't get mad if it's not fixed in 3 months.
Okay.
So
But
I'm
my
like,
mama put that cable in my name.
exactly. I'm like, I
It
love
don't
you.
matter. It's still yours.
Yes, I love you, want to help you, but I'm gonna have to be honest, because I'm not trying to just get your money. If somebody else will tell you, oh yeah, I get it off in 3 months, and you pay them and it's not off, or you pay them, they get it off and they did it illegally, and it all comes back, and then you're mad because you out of 800,000. I mean, because they're really upcharging for this. So I always say, I'm gonna be honest with you. And if you don't like it, then I understand, and I wish you the best. Join my Facebook group. You'll still get some credit education if you choose not to be a client. But I'm not gonna lie to anybody.
Good deal. Good deal. So let's look at your frequently asked questions. They
Okay.
say typically how long before I see results. And
Yeah.
like you just said, every situation is different, but the average client sees in 6 months. And within those 6 months, you do have some clients that be like, oh, okay, I'm good. And you have some clients that want to go ahead and still proceed. And when you have situations like that, with the clients that want to fall off, however, they come back
Oh
to
yeah.
you. Do
Mm-hmm.
you have like three strikes you're out because you know what? You done came to me about 3 times with this negative reporting and now I'm disputing it again. So what is your process of dealing with like habitual offenders?
I don't have a three strikes you're out rule. I try to build relationships with my client. I'm not able to build with all of them, but I think a pretty good number of them, that I actually talked to. Like one of my clients was having surgery this week, and I text her and just told her I hope that everything goes well and stuff like that. So I try to know people, and hey, if you come back, that's on you. I mean, that's you spending another, because there's no discount. You still got to go through the same process all over again. So you got to spend the 149 again, then you got to spend the 99 again the very next month. If that's what they want to do, then that's fine. I haven't really been strict about that. But what people get also with my services, you don't only get me customizing letters and disputing on your behalf, you also get credit education. So you'll get weekly emails that educate you on different things with credit, because I want people, when I finish helping you, I want you to go and be able to maintain that score and even be able to increase it based on things that you have learned versus having to come right back to me. But then they also get a client portal, and the client portal is just something that they have access to 24/7, that they can always see where they are in the credit repair process. So they always see what's in dispute for them. They can see any changes to their credit score, any accounts that get deleted, updated. All that information is in the client portal. They get notifications, so they'll know what's going on with their credit at any time. They can get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and say, "Hey, I want to see what's going on," and they'll see where they are in the process.
Nice. How many clients do you typically work on per day or hours? Like how much time
um,
do you engage in this business?
every day.
Okay.
I try to take Sundays off, and if I know I'm doing something, I try to make sure I get enough done where I don't have to bother with. Like tomorrow, I'm going to DC for a concert, so I'm like, I got a lot of stuff done today, and then when I come back on Friday, I'll probably, that's my day off of work. I'll probably do some more, but I try to keep Sundays, and then I also try to work around my son's schedule, because his dad and I, we do half the week, so the half of the week that he's with me, I want to be able to give him that attention when he gets off from school, and then I could just go back when he goes to bed. I can just go back and get on the computer if I need to. So I just build my schedule around him, and then also around anything that I have going on, whether it's a vacation or an event.
Nice, nice,
So,
nice.
so I wouldn't say it's. I definitely don't work on all my clients in one day. It would take me some days to do
Okay.
that. But yeah, I try to break things off by task. So if I'm doing letters one day, then I'm just going to do letters that day. If I'm up, looking at people, pulling new credit reports for people and updating the client portal for them, then that's just one day. I'm just doing that. I try not to do too many things at one time, because it gets and I am a multitasker, so it's hard for me. But when it comes to my business, I just try to dedicate days that I'm going to just do this all day and do
One
that all
particular
day.
thing.
Yeah,
Nice.
that works.
Okay. So about how many clients would you say you have?
71 right now.
Sheesh. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
That
It
is
is
a
a lot of
lot.
people. Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And let's talk about credit cards because I say they are the devil. I've had my share of credit cards. I've gotten rid of credit cards, set them up, and I made a promise. I said, I will never have another credit card ever again in my life. And I get credit card offers all the time.
Hmm.
And I said, no, never. And then it's like, oh, well, Tip, you own a business. You need to have a credit card.
Yeah.
That point system. And like I used to work with my manager, BG, shout out to him, but he used to say, yo, Tip, just get the credit card, charge everything on your credit card. And when you go home that night, take the money from your a bank account and just pay it off. Like, should I have the credit card? Should I not have the credit card? Should I be interested in these points? Give me some advice. Give me a little free advice on this, sis, please.
Um, I would say just look at it from the perspective of when you want to purchase a home, when you want to make those big purchases, the lenders are gonna be looking, especially when it comes to a home. Even if you're investing, if you're being a real estate investor and you're buying property, and you want to obtain a loan for that, they're still looking. So I think it's best to get a credit card, but the credit cards are only the devil if you don't know how to manage them.
That is true.
So I always tell people to stay, average, stay below 30% utilization. But if you want excellent credit, please stay like within 5% and below for your credit cards. And that utilization, it's not all your cards, it's based on that card. So you would take whatever card you have, the balance, you would times that by, let's say, 5%, and that gives you the number. That's the number you should not go over. That's the number that should not be reported on your credit report as going over that. And the reason why I say that is because you could not max a card out, but you can have a $500 card. And you can say, okay, this plane ticket costs $400. I'm just going to go ahead and pay for the plane ticket. Pay your credit card bill before the statement date. The statement date is usually the date that the credit, that's reported to the credit bureaus. But the statement date is before your due date. I think that's done on purpose. So people normally wait to their due date to pay, not realizing that high balance was already reported to the credit bureau. So the idea of credit cards is just to make sure that it's not reported to the credit bureau. So be smart when you use your card. So if you spend that $400, you pay before the statement date. I always say a week before, because a lot of times they want your bank account information. You got to give it time to go through. And then you pay that $400 off. It reported that, hey, you got $500 available credit. You're at zero utilization. So that's the smart part. Also, with credit cards, use them. I always tell people, if you get a card and you just don't like credit cards, you have to understand that, everything is built on how you manage that, how you manage other people's money. So you're going to have to kind of get in the game and play the game a little bit, but just, use it for Netflix, use it for gas, something small that you can easily put back on. You're not jumping over that utilization. You just put Netflix on it. That's nothing, but it's showing that you're using that card regularly, which is important, because if you don't use your card, you get a card, you say, I don't really care about credit, I'm gonna pay it off and let it sit there. They're either gonna close that card or they're gonna drastically decrease your limit. They can also drastically decrease your limit if you have a high, if you've almost maxed out the card. They've been known to do that too. So that's how you can get around that. And if the cards are for, you get more points for dining out, for gas, use the card for that. You're getting points. Oh, it's got to excuse my dog. I don't know what she barking at.
But I know you saw me sniffing back here at Bronx. Shut up.
Yeah, I don't know what she's barking at. But if you use the cards for what they're for, what you get those, double points for or whatever, you're essentially, the credit card company is helping you pay the bill, because those points are going to add up to dollars, and you can choose if you want that to go towards your bill, which is what I always do, because you can help me pay my bill. Thank you.
All right. If it's free, it's for me.
Exactly. So I tell people, hey, just if the card for dining out and gas, when you go out to dinner with your friends, just swipe the card. You're getting points. You go to the gas station, swipe the card. Just make sure you still pay, but also just know those points are going to equal dollars for you. And you can go ahead and cash out and have them applied to your bill.
I might just reconsider. I might just reconsider.
I think you should, especially, again, if you're looking to make large purchases, things like that, you want to be able to get that. And then business credit. Don't you want a business credit card to, for all your business related activity?
That is true, but I feel like if I can't make the purchase up front, then I shouldn't be having it. And that's
yeah, but that's not what necessarily why you're using your credit card. Using your credit card just to say, okay, it's easier for me. I'm not going to give people reoccurring access to my bank account. I'm not setting up anything monthly, but I can set it up on a card and then just go back and pay that. So it's not that I don't have the money and I'm charging up what I don't have. It's just that I'm using it smartly. And if something ever happens, I don't want you to have my bank account information or my bank card. You can have that credit card information. I can always call, cancel, change it. That's how I think about it.
I'm gonna have to reconsider that,
Just
because
think about it
like I
because
said, I do have a business, and I talk about it all the time. And I get a credit card. I'm not getting no GD credit card. I'm done with them things. Like, hate them. I can't stand them.
but you
And I
gotta
mean,
have a
I'm
good credit
very.
mix.
Go ahead.
You got to have a good credit mix because that affects your credit score as well. Good credit mix is, at least 2 loans. That could be a mortgage, personal loan, car loan, and then 2 to 3 credit cards. Even if you want to use it for gas, that's a good credit mix. If you don't have a good credit mix, you're looked at as, not being able to manage debt. You don't have it.
How?
I felt the same. Look, I felt the same way. I was like, I'm not getting no credit cards after my bankruptcy, and then for a while I was building my credit, I just was like,
And even if
credit.
everything says exceptional on the credit, exceptional payment, exceptional, so they still saying your credit mix is not good.
Because they're looking. The mix is loans, credit cards. That's the mix. So if you only have loans, no, you don't
But
have.
what if you only got like, let's just say I bought my motorcycle and was just like, oh, all right, I'm just gonna let this sit here like 2 months and I'm paying it off after that.
Mix the mix. You gotta have a good credit mix. It's worth. Look, hey, if you want to have,
I like my debt to income ratio at a certain level. I for me, it's just like I don't know. I guess being broke that one time scared me so bad. Yo, January, I'm so damn cheap. When I walk, my ass squeak. I count for everything. Julius from Everybody Hates Chris. That's 37 cents worth of electricity. I'm so cheap. I got prepaid electricity because I want to see the wattage.
oh my God. Listen, I'm just telling you what the lenders are looking at. They don't just look at your credit score. They're looking at everything when they pull up your credit profile. They're looking at the credit mix. They're looking at different things. So yeah, a credit card. I mean, you can start with one and just use it get one that's for gas and just use it for gas. Let those points rack up for you.
No, I have a debit card. But listen, okay. I got some few more questions for you. So listen. All right. So let's say I don't use my credit like that. You saying I stand a chance of my credit going down if I don't use my credit?
No, I'm not. I said a credit card. If you don't use your credit card,
okay.
Then they will close it or they will drastically decrease your credit limit.
Got you.
But your credit, so like a person, and this has actually happened. A person can have a 700 credit score, right? But all they have on their credit is, let's say they have 5 credit cards, all credit cards in good standing, right? Then you have this person over here whose credit score might be like 6, let's say it's 675 or something like that. But they have a mortgage, they have a car loan, and then they have maybe like 3 credit cards. And then both of these 2 individuals go to, let's say, an expensive dealership. So let's say BMW. They go to BMW and they want to get their loan through BMW because BMW has the lowest interest rate right now, even lower than Navy Federal and a lot of the other credit unions. Who do you think BMW is going to give the car loan to?
I hope not the guy with the high debt to income ratio, because I'm calculating the numbers. That's what I'm doing right now, sis. You got a mortgage, you got a car loan, you got X amount of credit cards, and you at the BMW lot. No, what you need to do is go back home. You don't need to be at nobody's lot. That's just me.
But you don't know how much, first of all, your debt to income ratio is how much debt you owe. If you got a credit card with a $5,000 limit, but you haven't even used $500 on it, that's not affecting you.
Oh, it's not?
No. So they're looking at what do you have maxed out? Like what's your limit on this car right now? As far as
I thought it go by the number like they give you. So if you got like 5,000, you got a $200,000 car house mortgage,
loans,
and then
those are loans. I'm talking about credit cards. Credit cards, they're looking at your balance. That's what lenders are looking at. So the BMW is going to go to the man that has the mortgage, that has a auto loan, that let's say he just paid that auto loan off because he wanted to get this BMW, good payment history there, and he has 3 credit cards. But this man that has no loans because he just like, I like to pay for my cars in cash, BMW turns him away and say, you know what, we can't approve you right now, so he has to go somewhere else. I literally just saw this happen last year.
But
So that's
why?
why I'm saying that. That's why I'm saying that
That's the
person,
credit
they're not,
mix you was talking
they're not,
about.
yeah, they're not managing. They don't have a good credit mix. They're not managing their debt. Well, now their score was higher than the other person, but yeah, I've
But
seen
what
it.
about their payments? Were their payments good?
The person who ended up getting it, or the person who
The
didn't
person who
get it.
didn't get it, the person with the 5 credit cards.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Their payment history was good, but again, they don't have a good credit mix. So they did have, I think they might have had one or two cards that was probably over 30%, but no, it was nothing really alarming about their credit report. They had a great score. All they had was credit cards. They didn't have a good credit mix. So lenders, they can choose if they want to do business with you. So if they look at it and say, this person, well, you're asking me for a car loan. I haven't seen a car loan on your credit report in 10 years. How do I know you can manage this car loan? Because credit cards are way less than what a car loan is. So it's different things that they're thinking, and they can just tell you, hey, at this time, we're not going to approve you. And I always tell people, if they say they can't approve you, a lot of times they send letters and they tell you why. But I would say ask them on the spot too, just so you can know, because that's going to help you to know what lenders are looking for. Because that's just like when you're looking to purchase a home, right? And you have a collection. The lender will say, I need you to pay off this collection for me to approve this loan. But I tell people, yeah, they're going to tell you that from the lender's perspective to pay the collection off. You go pay that collection off, the collection says 0, and then you're wondering, you can get the house now, but they're wondering, why is my credit score why hasn't it gone up? Why hasn't it improved? Because you paid the collection, you didn't get it removed. So people have to understand, I know it's real estate agents out here. I know it's lenders, brokers, all these different people that are trying to give credit advice, but they're not credit experts. So I always say, talk to somebody who does credit, like, professionally. That's what they do. That's the area of expertise, because whenever you do anything, you want it to be strategic. You want it to work in your favor. So they could still pay that $800 collection, but the difference is they can negotiate to have it removed, and they can also negotiate to pay less than $800. So I actually coach people how, step by step, how to negotiate with collection agencies, how to handle collection agencies, stuff like that.
Nice. So we got a few more minutes left. I got one more question for you.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to talk to you on the back end about coming and doing like a monthly
Yes,
little
whenever
credit
you
something,
can.
educate the people. One more question for you. So
Okay.
A lot of people are out here using like the Credit Karma and all of that stuff, and they thinking that they can. Yeah, I saw your head shake. Go ahead and fill them in about that mess.
Leave Credit Karma alone. Credit Karma will have you feeling like Superman when you really probably just Superman's dog. Okay, you're not Superman. They tend to always kind of just really boost up your score, and then you think you good, and you go to the lender, and your feelings get hurt. So Credit Karma, I think right now they only even offer one credit bureau. They used to offer two. Now I believe Equifax or whoever stopped with them. I always say, go with a company. Yeah, you're gonna have to pay, but you want to go with a credit monitoring company that's going to give you all three of your scores, as well as give you updates anytime anything changes with your credit report. If there's an inquiry, all that stuff. It'll even tell you if somebody's trying to steal your identity, all that kind of stuff. So I always say, leave Credit Karma alone. Free is not always good. So for 20 something dollars a month, you have that peace of mind of knowing, hey, I know all three of my scores. I know what's going on with them, because there's a difference between a Vantage score and a FICO score, and Credit Karma is giving you a Vantage score. But when you go to lenders, they're not using Vantage score. They use a
They're
FICO
using
score.
that FICO.
Yes. So yeah, leave Credit Karma alone. I personally use Identity IQ. That's what I use. And I mean, I look at that thing every month. I'm on there just seeing what's new. And then for my coaching, well, my course rather, I will actually have people who enroll in the course using something different, another different credit monitoring service, just because it's not compatible. I use software for my credit business, and I'll be using software for my course. So the software for my course is not compatible with Identity IQ, so I'll be using something else. But I like to research and find out what's good, so that I can know that whatever I'm putting out there to people, that it actually works and helps.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Man, shipmate, Miss Prather, January. Yo, I had an awesome time talking with you about
Yes, it was nice
credit, and I
talking
would
to you.
love to have you back on the show. And since we got to go, please drop all your information where the people can find you and reach out to you if they want to restore their credit, they want some mentorship. Just drop all that
Okay.
information for them.
So I have a Facebook group, and the Facebook group is called Credit Heroes, Credit and Financial Blueprint. So that's a private group, but if you request to be in a group, I allow people in the group, and I'm giving information about credit, education, and some financial information as well. And then also, I mean, you can follow me on Instagram, but I don't post a lot about credit on Instagram. My Facebook is January Prather, just my first and last name. You can follow me. You can add me on Facebook. And my website is herocreditsolutions.com. If anybody wants any more information or to schedule a consultation, you just go. You can either put schedule consultation, or you can actually just put get more info. And what I will do for your listeners, since we go way back,
All right.
I will offer some free information. I love giving away free stuff on the 3 ways to defeat debt collector. So I'm telling you how to handle collection agents, because that's like a big deal with people. And I provide you with 2 sample letters that you can send out to collection agencies. So I will give that to any of your listeners. If you go to my website, www.herocreditsolutions.com, you type get more info, you put in your name, your email, and then when it asks, how did you hear about us? Just say,
Hidden City Radio.
just say that the Hidden City Radio, and I'll know who to send the information to. So make sure you say Hidden City Radio, because if you
That
don't,
part.
you're not going to get any information.
Oh, all right. Y'all heard her.
So they can definitely feel free to join Credit Heroes on Facebook groups, and then you can go to my website if you'd like to get that free information.
Y'all heard it here first, right here on Hidden City Radio, City Flow Show. I can't even get it out. It's been a pleasure having you on this show.
Thank you.
Man, remember to keep it real, rap raw, so they can't call you flaw. Keep doing what you're doing, sis. I love the glow up. I see you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
It's
I
been
see you
real.
doing good thing too.
Peace. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Right, bye.
All right, later. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Miss January Prather. Y'all go check out her website, Credit Heroes. She out here trying to break generational curses with credit and finances. And sis is going to do it one credit score, credit card, financial advice, mentorship at a time, yo. I believe she going to help out the community. So y'all make sure y'all go check her out. Y'all got 3 minutes left in the show, and it's just me, and I don't like to ramble. Y'all know how I go here at City Flow, here at Hidden City Radio. I'm about to get out of here, y'all. Give y'all some plies and T-Pain. Take it back with Shawty. I'm out, y'all.
You're locked into the best.
The best.
The best. On Hidden City Radio. City Radio.
And I'm gonna tell him about man, y'all. Even though I'm not your man, you're not my girl.
I'ma call you my Shawty. Anyway, y'all, it's your girl TopNotch Butterscotch. Remember, keep it real, rap raw, so they can't call you flaw. I'm out.
And we ain't nothing that we ain't supposed to do, 'cause you mine.